We're coming to you live from Metropolis in Sandton, Johannesburg, and with me is the former Executive Mayor of Johannesburg, Mr. Amos Masondo. Welcome to you, Mr. Masondo.
No, thank you very much to you and the viewers.
It's been a long time. You've been Mayor of the city of Johannesburg for, what, almost 10 years, and you were also very active in the South African Local Government Association, and still very active trying to make a difference, Mr. Masondo.
Oh yes, we started in the year 2000, 2001. Because the elections were on the 5th of December 2000. And the first term ended in 2006, and the second term 2006 to 2011. We have done fairly well. In this period, I served as the mayor of the city of Johannesburg, as well as the president of the South African Local Government Association, SALGA.
I know your focus largely, while in office, was urban transformation. Let's take Soweto, let's take the inner city of Johannesburg. Those are two examples of a lot of effort you put in while the Executive Mayor of Johannesburg. Do you believe that you were able to achieve much transformation in terms of the future of those particular areas?
Oh yes, we did quite a lot of work, and I think the work we did in the inner city of the city of Johannesburg, the changes we made there were indeed very remarkable. So is the case with the intervention that we made in Soweto, which is a cluster really of townships. There are over 35 as we speak. In relation to Soweto, I think that our success can be measured in the way we were able to do the following. Firstly, we're able to tar all the roads in Soweto. And for if you know what Soweto used to look like before, you'll understand that this was a real significant step, because for the first time, people were not to be worried with a lot of dust in the months of July to end of August. The muddy roads became a thing of the past. And also, I mean, the roads don't just benefit motorists; they benefit the whole community. So it was a project that really impacted meaningfully to the people of these cluster this cluster of township overall. Of course, we were able to introduce the bus rapid transport system, BRT. We're able to leverage the World Cup 2010 by building very good stadiums and facilities. Orlando Stadium, Dobsonville Stadium. We're able to also build parks. Torotnyembe Park in Dobsonville, Toza Park in the Greater Rockville, Moroka area. And other parks, be it in Deep Blue, from Zimklope, and so on. We're also able during this period to build houses to really ensure that we impact overall on the community, and the interventions we made are felt even as we speak now, whether it be the Soweto Theatre, Soweto Theatre at Jabulan, the leveraging of the private sector resources to ensure that we have Mpola Ponya Mall, the Jablane Mall, Protect Land Mall, and many similar developments.
Interestingly enough, I took a drive through to Soweto the other day, and the one thing that stood out for me was clearly, as you mentioned, the tarred roads. and the greening, the parks which were really established as recreational areas for members of the community. Tourism to Soweto, for example, is a major draw card, and we're seeing more and more tourists going into Soweto. Obviously an area for the city of Johannesburg to focus on going forward, I would imagine?
So it's really a brand, and we have made our own contributions just to make sure that the brand is more everlasting, makes more of an impact. You're right. I mean, if you look at the Peter's Museum Memorial in Soweto, it is visited by hundreds of tourists a year. In that sense as well, one can say that we've been able to utilize heritage to leverage development. So people come there, not just to see the Peterson Memorial, but they're able to go to the Walter Sisulu Square of Dedication in Cape Town, the Open Tower in CWJ, Central Western Jabavu, and surrounding areas. So we've also been able to utilize heritage to leverage development and to improve the quality of life of people.
Let's talk very quickly about the inner city, Mr. Masondo. I mean, the Newtown development, for example, comes to mind. Years ago, it was a slum. Today, it's becoming a hive of activity, a home for thousands of people. How do you see the redevelopment of the inner city, including the CBD, going forward?
Yeah, I mean, yes, Newtown area, in many ways, represents the kinds of renewal that is taking place in the city of Johannesburg. A few years ago, the Mary Fitzgerald Square and those kinds of places were really down and fairly underdeveloped. The renewal ensured that the square was built, firstly. Secondly, that around it, there are many places and spaces that have been created that relates to the arts, the theater, music, poetry, and theater, and so on. We've also been able, I think, in the Newtown area, if you look at it very well, to reverse the trends, negative trends that had started in the late 80s and beginning of the 90s, where many businesses left the inner city to either to Sandton or the mid-rand areas. Now, if you go to the inner city, you see that there's more of activity. The businesses are operational. Cultural activities are taking place in an ongoing manner, and so the downward trend and decline was arrested, and we're now on the up, and one can see shops, businesses operational on a day-to-day basis. But overall, as well, I mean, the approach that we also utilize in the same way that we really put a lot of effort in developing Newtown. There are also other specific areas that were identified, whether it be in the Brampton precinct or the Ellis Park precinct.
Sure. A lot of development there.
Those kinds of places and so on. So there's been a lot of intervention, which I think has gone fairly positive and points to what is possible in terms of future development and expansion.
We have mayors from about 150 countries here today. I'm sure over the next few days you'll be sharing a lot of your experiences and some of the lessons that you've learned. Do you firmly believe, Mr. Masondo, that you can share a lot of good experiences, and is there something which the world can learn from the South African example, specifically around Soweto and the inner city? Absolutely, because issues of regeneration, or if you like, decline of cities, are problems and challenges that are global and international. I mean, the decline in Atlanta, in parts of London,
in parts of New York, in Paris, and elsewhere are well documented. And the work that we've done to ensure regeneration and renewal of the inner city is really something that we can share with many of our colleagues across the world.
If you have one bit of advice for Mayor Parkstown and his council, as the former mayor of Johannesburg, what will it be?
That once the mayor and the mayoral committee and the council has decided on a program, we need just to make sure that these programs remain systematic and programmatic, that they get implemented, and that indeed there'll be times when not everybody is in agreement, and we need to forge ahead. Of course, I mean, with due caution and ensuring that we bring all the role players on board, but the work must continue, because if we fail in this work, there are serious consequences going forward. So we need to ensure that all of this work go ahead, and that we make the necessary impact on community. Because when all is said and done, renewal and development is not really about individual. It's really the whole question of ensuring that the quality of life of people and citizens improve for the better. That's what it is about. They should be caring. We should be able to look at the needs of people and ensure that we integrate people into city life.
If you have to identify one specific area which there needs to be focused, what will it be? Is it transport? Is it housing? Is it the environment?
Yes, Yusuf, I mean, the issue really is that development by definition, if you study development studies, you'll come to the same conclusion yourself. Development is complex by definition. And development is not just one thing at the exclusion of other things. It's a combination of things that need to be done together. And these things include building houses, greening, building of parks, planting trees. It includes leveraging heritage and ensure that heritage is used to improve quality of life of people by leveraging development. It means leveraging private sector resources in the way that we've seen in Soweto, the malls and so on, building of hotels, B&Bs. So development is not just water and electricity. Sure. It's not just sanitation.
It's a combination
and water.
of issues.
It's a combination of issues, and all that we need to do is to ensure that there's a balance and an approach that really makes a meaningful impact.
Mr. Amos Masondo, the former Executive Mayor of Johannesburg, thank you very much for your time and thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr.